What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and I just finished episode 5 of Invincible, and it was okay. It was alright. My interest in hype and enthusiasm for this show has died off completely, and honestly, at this episode, I don't really care, if I'm being honest here. If I'm being completely serious here, I could care less about the rest of this franchise, and it's not just me. So we're going to talk about my thoughts on the episode and everyone else's thoughts and how the hype for this series has completely died off. Like I said previously, I did drop a video I think it was like a month or so ago, about Invincible, how like this break is unnecessary and how it completely ruins the hype and everything about the show. And I was right. I was completely right about that. And you can just tell by going on social media, no one's really talking about this episode. This episode was fine. This episode was pretty good. If this episode came out right after the last episode, everyone would be talking about like normal. It was a momentum building for this show. And it was like in a world and in a place and time where everyone has access to different mediums and stuff like that. Whatever you're looking for, you can find easily. Where the superhero medium is oversaturated and people say they have superhero fatigue, you have a show that's able to bring people out and talk about, because it's a unique take on the show, right? You have people's interest, and the thing is, out of sight, out of mind. When you disappear and you're gone for 4 months at least, people don't care about the product anymore, okay? And it's like this arbitrary, and I understand fully if the purpose of the break was, hey, we don't have enough time to finish the episodes now, so we're going to give you this, then we're going to take a break to finish the rest. No, it is an arbitrary break for suspense for no reason, and all the episodes are already done. So what is the point of the break? That is my problem with it, because if there's no logistical, this episode doesn't blow anything out of the water. This episode doesn't have you go back like, oh my god, the animation here is so stunning, it's so I've never seen anything like this before. No, it's not like season 1 of One Punch Man, you know what I mean, where you saw that animation, you're like, yo, like they really went crazy with this. No, it isn't. It's like a standard episode, and the fact that we waited 4 months for this is absolutely insane. And I know they came out and said, oh, we're not going to do these breaks anymore, the more episodes are going to be consistent, but like it is silent on social media, and this is what get the show out. This is what motivates people to go see. And I know people are going to ask it, who cares about the hype? If the show's good, it's good. But you need word of mouth to see a show. When we're swarmed with content at this moment, where anyone can go out and find something they like Shogun. If you want to see a samurai TV show and it's amazing and everyone's talking about it and it piques your interest, you go and watch it, right? This episode dropped. I didn't know this episode dropped until a coworker told me, okay? Because I have a coworker. He's like a super fan of Invincible, right? Like, I'm a comic book fan, as you could tell. But Invincible, like Image Comics, other than Spawn, I don't really care about. But he's a super nerd. Every time an episode drops, he watching it during work. He's talking about it. He's trying to break it down, explain it to me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm interested because, like, I don't read the books, you know what I mean? I've read, like, the first, like, few issues, but I didn't really care for it. I was too busy trying to get to X-Men, but when he's trying to tell me, like, oh yeah, this, that, and the third, like they changed things, but this and the third, and he's talking about whatever, and you can see it. Now I'm at work, and he's like, yeah, did you know the episode drops tomorrow? I'm like, oh wow. And he's like, yeah. I was like, you excited for it? And he doesn't really care. He's like, it's okay. I don't really care anymore. Because like the span of time it takes for this episode to drop from last episode, you could have binge read the entire series. Like it does. I even said that in my video. Like it could take you 1 week to binge watch the entire series. Like at this point, like I've already know the majority of the story of what's going to happen, because you can literally go somewhere and read it. It's not like this is some new story that's being developed. Like it's like this content is accessible, you know what I mean? And it's not like Game of Thrones where like the show is like, okay, the show is trash, but you can go read the books. No, there's no other book out yet. We're still waiting for this book to be done. And so that's what makes the show so you're anticipating so much. It's like, okay, what are they going to do now with this? And the momentum is completely gone, and I feel like this show is going to get lost in the shuffle of all the other content that's on the internet. And it has to go to social media being bad. Like it's horrible. Like the mismanagement of this show needs to be studied. Absolutely. First, you do the weekly stuff, which is annoying, but secondly, you do this break. And I don't believe the creators wanted this to be a thing. I have no doubt in my mind that the creators sat there and like, you know what, we have a great season here, we're gonna wait 5 months to give them the second half for suspense, even though the episode they gave out ends with a cliffhanger anyway. It's like, bro, like every episode ends with a cliffhanger because you want them to come back each week, right? Which is understandable, but at this point, it's like, bro, we're getting tired of me personally, I'm speaking for me now, I'm getting tired of the cliffhangers every week, because it feels like forced at this point. It's like, okay, this is the ending, it's gonna be the credits, then we'll hit you with a little tease at the end, so it's like, oh my god, you excited to see where this goes? No. And so, even on Twitter, people have been noticing how, like, there's literally no one talking about this episode. Like, there's no one out there, and I'm gonna post it here.
I sincerely feel bad for the Invincible crew. They managed to make a show that, in today's crazy world, managed to stand out and create immense hype around each episode's drop, only for execs to instantly kill all hype by having an arbitrary mid-season break to enforce ads.
Damn, I really planned a whole ass Invincible video next week expecting people to be talking about the new episodes, only for nobody to give a shit about the show because of the weird break, lol.
The way that the new episode of Invincible is making absolutely no noise on my TL, they fucked up so bad.
And so you can see by the tweets and stuff like that how, like, even people, like, are noticing how, like, the hype and everything and the momentum of this show has completely died, even off this very solid episode, you know? And it's just very sad to see. And another thing that's working against the show is because, you know, Amazon also has The Boys and stuff like that, and it introduced us to a very, like, you know, adult graphic version of superheroes and stuff like that. And this show has a lot of, like, shocking moments and stuff like that. If you watch the new episode, you understand the scene I'm talking about. But, like, I know a lot of people watch that scene, like, it was supposed to be for, like, shock, and supposed to, you know, gross you out and have you disgusted. I didn't really care at this point, because we're at that point now, kind of like with The Boys. We're like, okay, I know what you're doing. I know there's a very dark and, like, gory and, like, stuff like this, disgusting moments happen. But, like, can we do something more? Like let's come on now. Let's do something different here, because at this point, with different mediums doing the whole, I know y'all have the family friendly superhero movies, let's make it adult and graphic, to, like, let's make something gross and disgusting and morbid and stuff like that. It kind of, at this point, for me, I'm speaking for me, y'all ever seen that episode of SpongeBob when the Flying Dutchman is living with SpongeBob, and Flying Dutchman is trying to scare him, and at first he's scared, he's, like, creeped out, he can't sleep or whatever, and then as the episode gets on, he just gets tired of it, and it's like, oh, every time he tries to scare him, he's just bored and just yawns, and he's like, okay, whatever, like, let's move this along. That's how I'm feeling now, and I don't know if it's because of the break where I'm not interested as much, or it's because at this point there's so many different things coming out where it's like, hey, I know this isn't your normal superhero movie. This isn't like Marvel, where it's like, it's dark and gritty, and it's like when the Boys season 4 comes out, and there is a very shocking, probably in the first episode, fucked up moment with, I don't know, someone, I think it was in Gen V, where a dude's, like, a penis exploded, something like that, something crazy, right? Or, like, the tiny dude entering a guy's dick, right? Stuff like that happens, and it's like, okay, like the whole herogasm thing. It's like, can we actually get to, like, the story progressing, because we've kind of been in a stalemate for the past, you know, 2 seasons now. It's kind of like that, where it's like, I get it, I understand it, it's very creative. Who gives a fuck? Can we continue with the story? It's like, I don't care, bro. Like, when you see a character that you barely get attached to get crushed to death, and it's like, it's supposed to be like, oh my god, it's so shocking, it's so fucked up, and it's like, okay, like, all right, like, I never cared about this character before the 5-month period, but now you want me to care now? It's like, I don't care. Like, oh, all right, let's get along here. Let's see what happens now. Let's see how this other character's gonna get out of it. That we actually are invested to, you know. I don't know. It's like, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm bugging. Y'all let me know in the comments. But I honestly, I'm gonna just wait until the other 4 episodes drop, and then I'm gonna watch it and see if it changes. But as of now, I could give a shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like, listen. It's just more and more depressing the more I think about the state of the show. And hopefully the finale, people saying what it's leading up to, it's going to blow everyone's mind. It's like, oh, you can't wait for season 3. But it just leads to the same problem that we had from the get-go. We're going to end up waiting anyway. It's like, bro, we could have been done with this season by now. I could have been telling you, oh my god, the season finale for Invincible season 2 is so out of this mind. The perfect setup. It did everything right. I hate weekly episodes, but it just, oh my god, I cannot wait. And then we wait for like a year and a half or 2 years or whatever. Well, now it's like we're gonna wait for half the installment. It's like a unfinished game. You gotta wait for the DLC. It's like, oh man. At this point, I don't give a fuck anymore. But those are my thoughts. Let me know down below what y'all think. Are y'all still interested in the rest of Invincible? Do y'all not care? Do y'all even know if this new episode is out? Because I know some of y'all don't, because I for sure don't. And I'm chronically on the internet every day. I'm on the internet all the time, and it's like, I didn't even know that. But I'll be in the comments. Peace out.